Welcome back to Hot Off the Press. I'm Molly Lammers, and this is Lisa Rolfus.
Hi, thanks for having me back.
Lisa's the nurse practitioner out at our health clinic. And Lisa's here today to talk about mental health. So Lisa, one of the statistics you sent over to me I found very interesting. It said, according to the National Alliance of Mental Health, 1 in 5 U.S. adults experience mental illness each year, but less than half of them receive treatment. That's a lot.
That is a lot. If you think of 5 people you pass just walking to your desk, and one of them is really struggling, and the next one you see isn't going to ever ask for help. They're just going to struggle in silence. It's a really sad statistic.
Right.
The stigma that comes along with mental health is overwhelmingly depressing to think about that many people that just don't feel like they can reach out to anybody.
Right. So what are some of the common signs or symptoms of mental illness that may go unnoticed?
I think there's a lot. I think it can be some really small things that people don't really notice as maybe impacting them every day. But if you really sit back and think about things you've been experiencing, you might be able to add those together. So things like trouble sleeping, feeling more irritable, either at work or at home or both. Worrying about yourself or your family more than you normally would, like not being able to control the amount of worry you're experiencing, not feeling interested in things you've always liked to do. So like if you always like to go golfing or bowling, or you always like to read a book and now you're like, I don't want anything to do with that, not having interest in those hobbies is kind of a red flag. Feeling disconnected from people, when you want to kind of get into that shell mode where you don't want to be around people, you'd rather just hide out in your house or your bedroom. There's also some physical symptoms that people can experience. So headaches, upset stomachs, muscle aches, feeling really tired and fatigued all the time. And at work, you can feel like you're struggling to concentrate, feeling like you're just really on edge all the time. And then even withdrawing, so kind of like feeling disconnected, but when you do that withdrawal from people, and you don't feel like peopling.
Right.
So those are some of the really, I think, the symptoms that we can kind of miss if we're not paying attention. We think, oh geez, like this is no big deal. I don't feel like going out with my friends like I normally would. I don't feel like doing the bowling league that I normally do. And you can kind of blow it off. But when you put it together with a couple other things and realize, gosh, I've been really irritable. I've been snapping at my husband or my kids a lot more. It's really important to take a look into why that may be happening.
So multiple symptoms, and maybe not just I've missed the bowling league one night because I just wasn't feeling up to it, but repeated actions.
Yes.
Okay, interesting. So what are some things I can do if I'm just really not feeling like myself lately? Like I don't feel like doing those activities or things that I normally enjoy.
Yeah, I think once you realize some of that is happening, one, I'm happy always to sit down with anybody and talk through those. We can see if this is a repeated behavior. Maybe it is something bigger. Maybe it's some anxiety. Maybe it's some underlying depression. Maybe it's just a little bit of situational anxiety, but definitely something to talk through. But some things you can do for yourself. You want to try some things on your own first. You can be more physical. So increase your physical activity. Get outside, get in nature, take a walk. It releases endorphins, which naturally makes you more happy. It makes me think of the movie, wasn't it Legally Blonde?
With the dolphins?
Oh, no.
Oh, okay.
What movie is that?
I don't remember. I thought it was Legally Blonde.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I think
maybe it's
dolphins.
Not. Yeah, the endorphins are dolphins.
Oh, maybe. She's got someone in court. Have you seen this movie? Okay. She's in court. She's a lawyer, and she's like, happy people just don't kill other people. If you exercise, you're happy. Happy people don't kill people. Okay. Anyways,
very
exercise,
convincing, right?
Natural mood booster.
I just don't think Brooke could have done this. Exercise gives you endorphins. Endorphins make you happy. Happy people just don't shoot their husbands. They just don't.
Okay. Everyone now can think about why exercise is important because they said so in Legally Blonde.
Yes.
A balanced diet. We know that gut health has a lot to do with mental health. Your neurotransmitters that control mood dopamine, serotonin, they are modulated in your gut. So if your gut is unhealthy, it is really hard for your neurotransmitters to do what they want to do. We eat a highly processed diet. Everything is, covered in chemicals. We don't wash our food. We eat a high fat diet. We drink a lot of caffeine. So really focusing in what you're putting into your body can definitely help with mood control.
That's interesting because, if you're feeling maybe down or blue and, you don't really feel like exercising or moving your body, or, you're going to those comfort foods like, I'll just have some ice cream tonight,
Yes.
and that's making you feel worse probably about it.
It's a vicious cycle of, well, I don't feel like doing that, so I'm going to sit here with my feet up and watch, whatever trash TV with my popcorn and my bowl of ice cream. And it does. It increasingly just makes things worse. But it is definitely a pattern. Social support. So, like I said, coming out and talking to me, but really finding that support within your network of people, whether that means you join a new group, maybe you join a Bible study, maybe you join a book club, maybe you join a bowling league. But connecting with people as much as you don't want to people
right.
Is really important, or finding that at least one really good support system. For me, that's my husband or my mom. But you need somebody you can be really open with and kind of break that stigma of mental health and talk about how you're feeling. Sleep. So, another pattern that continues, you don't get good sleep, and then you drink caffeine, and then you eat crap food, and then you don't move your body.
Right.
So it's really just like this really bad habit cycle. But as Americans, we live that way. Most of us live that way every day. We're
guilty.
You're not getting the steps. You're not eating.
Right.
You sleep.
The sleep.
poorly.
Right. Because I want to stay up later when the kids go to bed to have some time, to read my book, and then I don't get enough sleep and I'm crabby the next day.
Yeah, it definitely all plays together. So really taking the time to do good sleep habits of, going to bed at the same time every night, getting up at the same time every day, that really helps create a rhythm in your body. Keeping the room dark, keeping the room cool. And then before bed, relaxation techniques are really important, because a lot of people will say, I can't fall asleep or I can't turn my brain off. Well, sitting in front of a TV or a screen right before bed will do that. It's going to stimulate things in your brain, and it's going to make you feel more active. It's going to activate your brain. So guided meditation, yoga, progressive muscle relaxation, deep breathing, journaling, simply reading a book are all things that can kind of help shut the mind down to help you get better sleep.
Interesting. So I really like the guided meditation. Yes. I didn't think it would put me to sleep, but I can't stay awake for more than a minute or two of that, and I'm out. So it really works.
And it's easy to find.
It is.
It's on YouTube. You can literally type in guided meditation anywhere on the internet. You're going to find something that'll kind of help you take those steps to relax.
Yes.
When you get better sleep, it can turn around the whole day.
Yeah. Good stuff. So what would you tell someone that may be scared to seek treatment because, we live in a small town, everyone knows everyone, you live next door to your cousins and down the street from your best friend, you don't want to be seen going into the therapist's office. What would you tell that person or the person who may have been told, just power through it. It's just a season of life, or it's just a phase.
And that, that gets right back to the stigma around mental health. If you go back to the statistic of 1 in 5, you can realize that you're not alone. That's 20% of people at least. I have a feeling that depending on where you live, that number might be higher. I think that people assume that if they are having some emotional concerns that they should just stop whining about it, or this person has it way worse, so there's no reason for me to feel bad because I know what this person is going through. But these things have real long-term effects on your body, just like heart disease does. Mental health has some real long-term effects, and unfortunately, we've all seen some poor outcomes of mental disease. I think it's important to remember that Quad Med is just like your family practice doctor or any other doctor's office you can find in this town. Your relationship with us is strictly confidential. We are completely separate from Reynolds and Reynolds. Your health information is never shared, could never be shared. So I think that should hopefully give a little bit of reassurance when you're coming to the clinic that it's never going to become knowledge of those you work with, those you work for.
Sure.
I also think that with counseling, when you find that outside counselor that you connect with, that concern gets a lot easier. So whether it be with us in the clinic or with an outside counselor, the more you go and the better you start to feel, that stigma feels less.
Okay.
It just feels more accepted because you're like, oh my gosh, I'm feeling so much better. This is worth it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's definitely a hard one to get over. It's very common for people not to want to talk about mental health, but I think focusing in on finding a safe place, a safe person to talk to about it, whether that be with us in the clinic, with a counselor, with a really good trusted friend, because somebody else is going to understand those feelings. Somebody else has been there too.
That common connection and relating to others. Yeah.
If we openly talk about
right.
it, then we're kind of like, oh, you had that same experience. How did you handle that? What helped you start getting good sleep again? Or what changed when you started taking a walk every day? Just being able to talk about it makes a big difference.
Right, right. So who can receive treatment at the clinic for mental illnesses?
All associates can use the Roadside Health Center.
Full and part-time, correct?
Yes. Regardless of if you're on the medical plan or not, full, part-time, everybody. And then kids ages 2 and up and spouses who are on the medical plan are also welcome to use the clinic.
Great. So a wide variety there.
Yes.
Yes.
We'd love to see you all.
And then with that, what are your hours and how do I schedule an appointment?
Our hours are 7 to 3:30 every day.
Perfect.
Monday through Friday.
Yes.
And you can schedule an appointment at myquadmedical.com/Reynolds or by calling extension 47111 if you're in the building. If not, 419-584-7111.
Great. And I know you have a lot of convenient appointment times. A lot of times they're the same day, which is great. It's a great resource.
Most days we can get you in the same day. If not, definitely next day.
Perfect.
More than happy to, sit down and talk about how you're feeling. Don't hide behind, the shell and the feelings, and let us talk about it. We can probably make some difference.
Great. Thank you so much, Lisa.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Have a great day, everyone.